we're at Mepe, but there are many areas within North Tongue, Central Tongue, South Tongue, as well as the other tributaries of the Volta Lake, going from Anglogan to Kata, and many island communities that have been submerged or inundated by flood waters. And Media General and 3 Foundation, we're making sure that we bring the conversation close to you. And of course, we do the studio, come onto the ground, do the on-ground reporting, packaged as well, get to speak to the right people. And through the Media General and 3 Foundation, we leave effort of fund to make sure that we bring some relief for those who are devastated by the Akosombo Dam spillage by the Volta River Authority. We know that there's a national coordinated effort. The president has been here. The vice president has been here as well. But also central to this, who is a go-to person, is a member of parliament for the area, Okudzeto Ablakwa. We'll speak to him in a moment. But before we do that, we do encourage you that please make sure you send in your donations. The donations can come in cash and kind. Just in case you have cash, very easy for you to do so. You go through the 3 Foundation mobile money number, and then I'll just try to do a recall of the number 059 7433 110. 059 7433 110. And then also, just in case you want to use the merchant platform as well, we have the merchant number for 3 Foundation, and it is 120 494 120 494. But a lot of relief is needed. If you go through the communities, more areas are being inundated because spilling is ongoing or is being done intermittently by the Volta River Authority. Let me speak to Okudzeto Ablakwa. Throughout the night of yesterday on phone, making sure he collects items, coordinating, making sure the right sort of people come. What will be your best description of the last 1.5 weeks? Because I'm told I started from the Monday of the last, so into the 2nd week. What will be your own observation so far?
Roland, it's been nightmarish. I have never been through a situation like this. 11 years as a member of parliament, and this has never happened to us. This is the biggest disaster in a lifetime. We never imagined that we will be in this situation. We are at a very popular road. We drive through, we walk through, visit friends, we visit colleagues. You can walk through here to the secondary school, Mepe, which is one of our foremost secondary schools. So you see a lot of students, a lot of teachers. Today, you can't walk here. It's become like another Volta River. You need boats to be ferried from this point to the other end. And for some people, they have to even cross twice. Some have to cross thrice. 3 river bodies
before they get to. And these artificial rivers, by the way.
Artificial rivers. And you notice that opposite is the market, the very popular Mepe market. So it's a beehive of activity, and we never imagined that we will be cut off. A day will come that there will be a man-made disaster, and we will have to bear the brunt. And you see, this is a very painful time for us, a very traumatizing time, because we have donated land for the Akosombo and Pond dams to be constructed. My people had to be relocated. The people around Fojoku, Togoma, parts of Aboetia, Joapon, and even all the way to Aveime had to be relocated. And we were so excited that we are contributing towards national transformation. 80% of our coverage as a country from these 2 dams, so far as electricity production or generation is concerned. And we never imagined that that contribution that we made will make us bear the brunt for all of this, reckless spilling. And we are so pained about it because VRA should have known. They are the only ones who know the quantum of water that they are going to spill. And they should not have gone about it this way. That is why I insist that when the House resumes, we will file a motion calling for a parliamentary inquiry into this whole affair. As I speak to you, according to NADMO, about 12,000 people of my constituency, have been displaced. Can you imagine? Displaced in your own constituency. You wake up one morning and you lose everything in your house. You can't salvage anything. Not your television, not your certificates, not your radio set, not your cooking utensils, your clothes, nothing. And then, secondly, you lose your livelihoods. Farms, fish ponds, shops are all gone. So it's a double whammy. And now there's even a looming triple whammy. The Ghana Health Service has warned that there's a looming epidemic. The Volta Regional Directorate issued a statement a couple of days ago after an inspection. They have noticed that the water has gotten into all kinds of arenas that are unwholesome and really terrifying. You have seen where the water has got into. Not too far from here is a cemetery. Not too far from here is a landfill site, a refuse dump.
Yes.
We also have public toilets all over the place. And the water has taken over all of those places, linked to the main Volta River and then the lake. So the entire water is contaminated. And my people are so used to.
And we're showing these things live. Aerial shots. As you're speaking, we're showing those areas.
And my people are so used to drinking this water, cooking with this water, bathing, washing, and all of that. Now the doctors who I brought in, thanks to my partnership with the Ghana Medical Association and the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, are telling me that people are presenting with all kinds of skin diseases.
Yeah, we saw a couple too.
Yes, and they are presenting with cholera. They are presenting with typhoid.
That is worrying.
Very, very worrying. So it's a man-made disaster which should never have occurred, and that's why there must be an inquiry, and we must also begin discussing resettlement and full compensation. You have seen that the camps, and now we have 21 camps. When the disaster began a couple of weeks ago, we just had 3 camps. We now have 21 camps.
21 of these safe havens,
yes,
as we call them.
Yes, 21. And so anytime we receive food items, we have to distribute to all of these 21 camps or safe havens. So you are seeing that most of them are in classrooms. These are classrooms not constructed for boarding, education. So there are no washrooms, there are no toilet facilities. So we have our people congested, crammed in these classrooms, and they do not also have access to places of convenience, which even heightens the threat of a public health emergency.
Yeah.
So the situation is dire, and that is why we continue to appeal to His Excellency the President that he should declare a state of emergency.
How crucial would that be?
It is crucial. It is crucial. You see,
like the way if there's COVID or some level of epidemic.
Yes.
Okay.
Because what that does is that it raises the alert levels. Then you are able to mobilize more resources, particularly from the international community. We all know that this economy is struggling. We are currently under an IMF bailout. There are all kinds of conditionalities and all kinds of rigidities. So our international partners, when you declare a state of emergency, it's able to trigger a lot of support from that, that field, whether it's bilateral or multilateral. I can also confirm to you that the United Nations system, if you talk to them, they also wait for these declarations. When you declare a state of emergency, they are then able to activate their emergency response plans. And then they are able to send you the help that you need. It is overwhelming. I mean, we are doing our best as a member of parliament, and let me use this opportunity to commend the Christian Council of Ghana, the EP Church, Fair Sky, the Rate Group, the Ghana Tanker Owners Union, Voltic. Thanks to your effort, they told me that TV3 has really been knocking on their doors, and so they are here today with 2,000 bags of water. They tell me that another 5,000 will be coming.
It's on the way
in the next few hours. So we are grateful to Voltic. We are grateful to all of these groups. The humanitarian department of the Church of Latter-day Saints, they have called us that they are on their way. The The Catholic Church has also called us that they are mobilizing and that in a few days they'll be here. So we thank all of you who are reaching out, individuals who have come to volunteer, the Ghana Medical Association, Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association, the Catholic Relief Trust. We are really grateful, but we need more support.
Yeah.
We need more help, particularly even for mobile toilets. You've seen the camps, and we'll really need some support in that regard.
When we did speak to a number of individuals, there are individuals who are even just volunteering. Yes. They are not necessarily in Mepe, etc. They are even far off.
That's true.
And they are volunteering to come back into the community to be able to help and mobilize and speak to their WhatsApp platform associations and groups, etc., to see what they can.
That's true.
That also means that a lot of effort is being done. Yeah. But what we notice is that when we visit a lot of the camps, they tell us that some others who are their friends in some other safe havens have relief items. Some don't have at all. Some have, but not enough. Yeah. Why is there a need for one coordinated effort instead of these pockets of coordinated efforts?
I agree with you. When these matters, and this just came upon us. So you never really are prepared for this. We've never seen this situation in our lifetime. So we are perfecting the system as time goes on. That is why a couple of days ago, I launched the MP's Mobile Relief Caravan. And I demonstrated to the media who were present that we have been able to set up a system where within 24 hours, we can have the relief items go to all the camps. At the time, we had 19 camps. Now we have 21 camps. So we are perfecting the system. And I want to assure all those in the other camps who feel that the items are getting to them slowly to be rest assured. Right after this interview, I'm going to the Okudzeto camp. That's where we have a lot of our people. It's been a couple of days since they received new items, even though we make sure that they get meals on a daily basis. But a few minutes from now, we'll be doing a massive presentation there. So we are perfecting the system, but what is important is that the items that come in, we make sure that they are not hoarded. They don't go to any private house, any office. They are all...
And I see that some mattresses are in.
Yes. They are presented openly. We invite the chiefs, the assembly members, the victims themselves, community leaders, the clergy, and it's done openly, after which we distribute them using the caravan, the various pickups that we have. So that's the way we are going about it. And these are the items that we are sending to Mepe and Okudzeto. These are the items that came in last night from First Sky. And from First Sky Group. And we are presenting them right after this interview.
All right. So we're grateful to all the entities, individuals, corporate organizations making the effort. First Sky. We also have the Rate Group, Rate Transport. They're based in Tema as well. Voltic, all of them.
And Red Group, I like their model. They came
through Godwin
Tamaklo. They came in with prepared food. I think they are the only group that have come in with prepared food. So we were ready to serve all the victims at the Mepe RC camp, where they selected, and they all had very nice breakfast, kenke, and fish, and some fried fish as well. And they added sanitary towels and other hygiene items. So we are grateful to the Rate Group.
So the MP's Relief Fund has been launched. That's the North Tongue MP's Relief Fund. It's available. Again, we have to emphasize that Media General 3 Foundation, that's the CSR wing of Media General, they are coordinating all this alongside the subsidiaries. So we have Connect FM in the Western region. We also do have Akoma FM in the Ashanti region. In Accra, we have TV3, 3FM, we have 3 Digital, 3 Sports, 3 Entertainment. Now, wherever you can, if it is that you can come to the community, make contact with the Member of Parliament, make contact with Media General, and we are along the Presidential Drive, Kanda, near the Jubilee House. You can come and do the donation in person, or you can also do the donations in cash through available mobile monies on your screen. That's the numbers, etc. Now, Mr. Okudzeto Ablakwa, if currently efforts need to be coming, what sort of efforts do we need? Is it intensive public education for the public health area? Is it constant flow of food? Is it resettling of affected victims and then trying to do some level of reparations as well? So how should they be?
So all of that. Immediately, we need food, we need water, we need medicines. Medicines in particular. A lot of vulnerable people, senior citizens, run out of their homes and their medications have been washed ashore. Fortunately, we have been able to speak to them. We have collected their prescriptions and we have secured some first round of medication, but I'm sure we will need more. We also would need blankets, mosquito nets, tents. So typical relief items. We need them. Then we move to phase 2, which is the resettlement. And I must commend the First Sky Group. They have offered to help us with a construction with bricks that they can do in record time, about a month. They needed us to provide land. We have secured land for them free of charge. And later today, the construction will begin so that at least some 200 people within the next 2 to 3 weeks can be relocated into those befitting havens where there will be adequate, places of convenience, washrooms, and all of that. So I want to commend the First Sky Group for that. And we need more of that. So if people can come in to help us, that's why you recall that our chiefs were appealing to the president when the president came here, that if he could open Saglemi for our people to be relocated, because they can't stay in classrooms, for long. I mean, classrooms are not designed for residential accommodation. But in the meantime, seeing that it doesn't appear that the president is comfortable with offering Saglemi for our people, we are trying to mobilize on our own. So I want to announce that we have secured land, large tracts of land. So particular construction firms who want to come in to help us, even if it's prefab will appreciate it, because what the classroom havens are also causing is that they are delaying the reopening of schools. Now, as we speak, yesterday I met with the education director, and she can't tell me when.
Everything has come to a standstill.
Yes, and our compatriots elsewhere are learning. So our children are being left behind. They are losing precious academic time. And they are all going to write the same exams, the same BEC, the same WASI. How would they cope? So we need to relocate our people so that academic work can begin, the schools can be reopened. Then thirdly, the public health aspect of things. We really have to pay attention. I am glad that the Director General of the Ghana Health Service came here to see things for himself. He saw how precarious the situation is. I hope that he will quickly mobilize a public health emergency plan and support system so that already the typhoid cases we are seeing, the cases of cholera and all of that does not, blow out of proportion. Then we will have to have that difficult discussion about full compensation. VRA must know that they won't be allowed to get away with this. It is not fair to make people lose their livelihoods, lose their properties, lose their farms, and then you think that they should just cope with it. And I mean, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
We will insist on full compensation. And if we don't hear them announcing a plan for full compensation, we will bring legal action. We will bring legal action, a class action, so that VRA will compensate all of the victims. The NADMO has counted about 28,000 displaced people who have lost properties. We are also putting the data on properties, the value, and then the farms, the businesses, the fish ponds that have been lost. We are putting all of that data together. So they can't have an excuse that they didn't have the data. So full compensation must be presented to our people. We are not going to compromise on that at all.
Over the last 3 days, Johnny Hughes and I, we've been doing a number of literature review and research, and of course using just the internet. And apparently, the number of countries that constantly live with water, they live with the water. Yeah. So they found some engineering solutions on how to live with the water. So they are disaster emergency prepared. there's constant regurgitation or recommunication or re-echoing of what needs to be done. If there's an SOS, so certain SOPs are kicked in, etc. We also found out that there were island nations in the Caribbean, etc., who also would have constantly water coming in some communities. They don't ask them to relocate. They don't, in terms of permanent relocation. Yeah. So there's some level of living with the water, etc. Yeah. How should VRE, the National Disaster Management Organization, key stakeholders, perhaps take this seriously? Because we can't say that all the communities should just relocate. To where? There's no extra relocation. Where? Yeah. So how should this be done going forward, post the recovery period?
I'm glad that you have done enormous research in that department. And I also get really upset when I hear people on radio, on TV say, oh, but let them relocate, as if, we dropped from Mars. This is our land. We've always been here. I mean, we had to offer land for Akosombo Dam to be built, for the Pond Dam to be built. My forefathers had to do that. And you talk as if, we don't have stakes. It's not our land. I mean, we were here long before you decided to come and construct these dams. People must recognize that fact. So it's not as if you had your dam, we had nothing to do with it. It's not our land, and we are encroachers. No, people should understand their history, should know their country. Having said that, look, we are in a modern world. There can be an engineering solution. This is a country that complains that though 70% of our workers are in the agriculture sector, our agric is largely subsistence. It is not mechanized, it's not modernized, we are not doing irrigation agriculture. So why can't we have an engineering solution where the water is rechanneled? We construct tunnels to our farms so that anytime there must be a spill. Look, water is so precious. Many analysts are saying that the Third World War might be based on water, might be because of a fight over water. Already we've seen what is going on in the Nile. And then when you add climate change, it means that this dispensation, you cannot, take these things for granted. So it's not about relocating the people, driving them away, talking as if it is not our land. We don't have locals here. So we need an engineering solution where we rechannel the course of the water so that if you must spill, if you must discharge excess water, you do it scientifically. It goes into our farms. We have irrigation. Even the failed one village, one dam. Imagine if we had an engineering solution where excess water from Akosombo Dam, from Pond Dam, can go into these smaller dams. That intervention will not have failed. So we just need to put our thinking caps on.
Okay.
And find a scientific approach to these things. This is not the way to go.
Very commendable.
It's so primitive, it's so
very
backward,
commendable.
And
so your last words to your constituents, but also to the wider public, corporate, individuals, and those organizations that could provide relief services, what should it be?
For my constituents, I want to commend them for their resilience, particularly the youth. When this disaster occurred, I went on social media and celebrated the young people. If we have no casualty, if nobody died, it is because of the youth in my constituency. They volunteered. They didn't sleep all night, carrying old ladies, carrying children, moving them to higher ground. We didn't get any initial NADMO support. NADMO was nowhere. VRA was nowhere. It was the youth. It was our people who, on their own, and I'll always celebrate them, I'll always salute them. They didn't sleep. They are the ones who rescued our people and made sure we didn't have casualties. It was not any external body. Then, let me also say that our constituents generally should be assured that we are with them throughout. We are not going to abandon them in the camps. We are not going to leave them displaced. We are going to stand with them. And I like the way many Ghanaians are standing with them. I want to commend Ghanaians for the solidarity. Look, I'm receiving calls from far off People say they are coming from the north. They are coming from Upper East. This morning I received a call from a top doctor in the States who says that she has mobilized her colleague doctors and they have bought their own ticket. They are flying down to come and offer free medical services. So I want to thank Ghanaians everywhere, including Siena. I've got a call from Siena, the Ever community in North America. They have also called that they are mobilizing, they are bringing relief items. I thank all of them. The support has been overwhelming, and that gives us hope. That's why we, after all the pain and all the trauma, we just, calm down that we are not alone. People are with us, and so we thank them. And let me finally appeal to corporate Ghana, appeal to philanthropists, benevolent organizations, the clergy, Muslim organizations, that yes, help has been coming, but it is not enough. We need more. Unfortunately for us, the VRA is still spilling. The spilling hasn't stopped. That's why you can see
the water levels are constant and rising.
Yes, they are not receding. If they had stopped spilling, this water will be receding. So they are still spilling. The rains are still falling. It's been raining cats and dogs. So we are not out of the woods. This crisis is not going to end anytime soon. So we will need more support. And remember, Ghana Water has cut water. Many communities don't have electricity, and so water cannot even be processed and all of that. And the water is now contaminated. So as for water, we need a constant stream of water. And that's why I thank Voltic for coming to support us this morning. Okay. And we need everybody to come on board to help us go through this. Analysts are saying this will continue into next year. So it's not going to be a 9-day affair. Okay. So we appeal to everybody to come to our aid. Well, and thank you, TV3, for coming to help us.
Again, we have to say that, so Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, the Member of Parliament for North Tone, has launched the MP's Relief Fund. So it's a formal fund that is available for you. You can call him or his office or his assigns or his officers of the party in the constituency, and then you can make direct donations. So there are individuals who just drove in without making any official calls to anybody, just drove in, located his base, and then they were able to undertake those donations. We right here at Media General, and then 3 Foundation, that's the CSR wing or subsidiary of Media General, we're putting together this official relief fund as well, mobilizing all resources that we can have from you, our loyal viewers, as well as the various audience segments that we have. You can either walk into the offices of Media General. It's just located on the Presidential Drive, in other words, close to the Jubilee House, Kanda, Accra. Or you can also do donations in cash through the number 059-74110. If you want to use what they call the merchant number platform, you can do so. And again, it is 120494. Please make sure that you donate. So we're complementing all the efforts. The MP's Relief Fund efforts. Media General is also undertaking. We have other media organizations that are doing theirs. Individual organizations on WhatsApp, social media platforms, they're also doing theirs. No help is too small, really. When you come into the community, you get to see the devastated nature of people who are living their normal lives. And then for a lack of discretion somewhat along the chain of just putting that information constantly in their ears because it is an emergency and the lack thereof, you get to find that this is a great plight. Yeah. Do you have numbers that people can contribute to?
Yes. So the MP's Relief Fund, you can dial *713*75#. So I take that again, *713*75#. The reference code is 38036. And then if you want to support through material donations, you can call the hotline 024-567-3185. And a gentleman called Jesse Toku, will receive your call nicely and show you where to bring the items. And every item is being accounted for. If you follow my social media handles, everybody who donates, we publish it, we thank the person. It's done transparently. When you bring your items, we call the entire community, and nothing goes to the MP's house. I don't want any relief item in my house. Everything is going to the camps. So there's full transparency, full accountability, and you can be rest assured that all items will go to the victims. 12,000 displaced people. That is a huge number.
Well, we're grateful. And the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, and this is no laughing or joking matter, so we take it as serious as it is. So from the state, we have the President putting together the Inter-Ministerial Committee. He followed up with a visit to the constituency. Of course, the MP had already been on the ground working alongside his constituents. The same displaced people helping other displaced people, and all these have kicked in. Now we also have the assurance of the MP that we have the Ghana Medical Association. I've already seen some health professionals. We need as many as possible. So while we have treatment ongoing, we have a public education to make sure we forestall any public health disaster. And it's important that all of us donate as well. Media General, Free Foundation, all of us are doing our bit. But as we do that, we also went to some of the camps, as they call them here, safe havens. So Nashok also had some interaction. And then I also had some interaction in some other camps as well. We will go for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you all these interactions for you to have a first-hand account of how individuals who have been devastated, displaced by spilled water from the Akosombo by the Volta River Authority at their west end. Back to the studio.
All right, thank you for that conversation with the MP for North Tongue, Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa. And yes, the team is at Mepe in the Volta region, where they're bringing us live sights and sounds from the devastation that has plagued the community. And as that is ongoing, just to also let you know that there's been floods in Makango. It is in the Savannah region, where we are told one person has been confirmed dead and some 3 people nearly drowned. 3,300 people have been displaced at the moment, with 792 houses and more affected by the floods. This was as a result of heavy rains that caused the Black Volta to overflow its banks. And so communities within that region, Makango, Abilikrua, Titikura, and other communities in the East Gonja municipality, were told houses and farmlands have been submerged in flood water. So the municipal chief executive for East Gonja is calling on all and sundry to support and come to the aid of the affected people. Well, we'll take a break at this point, and when we get back, we'll continue with the show.